Previous class, uh, we have discussed about flow control statements. In flow control statements, we completed the syntax of conditional statements and iterations also completed with some examples. Okay. Uh, After completing with some related examples, the syntax has been completed, and you have been given some tasks. So these tasks have been given to you. We all completed these. We all completed these tasks. Oh, no need of answers. Just let me know how many of you have completed. So Fibonacci series asking. Okay, I will explain Fibonacci series. Any other programs you need? Prime number, perfect number. Okay. Okay. Today also we will discuss only programs. No problem. I will explain. Based on the previous concepts, we will work on some programs. Yeah. I will explain you prime number, Fibonacci series, and perfect number. First, I will explain these three. So after that, we will continue. So first, let me explain you prime number. So let me create today a notebook file with the today's date. Six, 12, 2020. Okay. First, let me discuss about prime number. So prime number. So prime number is nothing but number which is divisible by 1 and itself. So this is nothing but the prime number. This is the definition of prime number, right? And it contains two factors. So 1 and itself are the factors, or else it has only two factors. So this is the condition you should know for writing the program. You should know the conditions. Okay. So prime number is nothing but the number which is divisible by 1 and itself. One and itself. Okay. It will have only two factors. So now let's start the program. Uh, Let us start the program. Let us take a number, whether we want to check the given number is prime or not, right? For that I am taking a number, int of input of. So for reading input from user in Python, we will use input function. Okay, input is an inbuilt function. We use that for reading input from user. Enter a number. So to check whether the number is prime or not, we are taking that particular number from the user. Okay. So after reading the number, we have to check how many factors are there for that particular number. Okay. For I in range of, I'm starting from 1 or else you can also start from 0, no problem. Range of this range is also one of the inbuilt function which takes two arguments, start value and end value. Start value, if we didn't mention start value, it will consider it as 0. If we didn't mention end value, it will consider it as, if we mentioned n value, it considers up to n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1 value. Okay, so here n from 0 to n I am taking, so that it will consist up to n minus 1. If you want to include n also in the range, then you must give n plus 1. Okay, n plus 1. After that, so you have to check whether the every particular number is factor or not. So n modulus I double equal to 0. Okay, so if this particular number is a factor, then you have to increment the factors count. Factors count. Initially, I am taking factors as 0, and now here, if this is divisible, then I am incrementing the factor f variable. Okay. Initially, f is 0. If n modulus I is 0, if when we divide n with respect to I, if the output is 0, then we are going to increment this particular variable. Else we can continue the program. Okay. So now this is the program, right? So now we have to check the condition. So what I told, so prime number will have only two factors, right? One and itself. So we have to check the condition here. If f double equal to 2, then we can print the given number is prime and is prime. Else we can print, if not 2, can print n is not prime. Not prime. Okay. Now you can run the program and check the before execution. Do you understand this code what I have written? Are you able to understand this program? No. Okay. So initially I have taken n variable from user for reading input from user to check given number is prime or not. So I am taking n variable for reading input from user. Okay, that means whatever the number we have given, the particular program checks it is prime or not. Okay, after that I have taken f as 0 initially. That means initially the factors I am considering as 0, because I didn't check the factors for that particular number. So that's why initially I considered as 0. After that, for uh, I is nothing but a variable here, just for iterable, like iterable, we are considered for I in range of, this is range is called the iterable. Okay, this range function includes 0 to n, because we must check from 0 to n plus 1. N also should be included in the range. That's why we have given n plus 1. If we didn't given n plus 1, it will consist up to only n minus 1. Okay, so that's the reason I have given n plus 1. So in the for loop, I checked whether the n is divisible, n is giving when we done modulus using modulus operator, n modulus I is giving 0 or not. If it is giving 0, then we are incrementing the f variable. Okay, so that it repeats the loop until n value. After completion of the for loop, I'm in breaking the indentation of for loop. Outside of for loop, I have started writing condition to check whether the f value is 2 or not. Because I told you that prime number is divisible by 1 and itself. It has only two factors. Okay. So that's why if f equal to 2, then can print the number is prime. Otherwise, it is a not prime. Okay. And somebody is asking what is I. I is nothing but a variable here. Okay. So I is nothing but a variable. So we should have a variable in for loop to iterate over a iterable. Okay. So this range is called iterable. That means it consists of group of values. Okay. So to iterate over a iterable, we must have a variable inside the for loop. Okay. That is about the program. Now it is, I think it is clear for all. Is it clear for all now? Now let me execute this program. See here, it is asking for a number. Suppose let me enter 1. If I enter 1, it is throwing error. Integer divisible. So here we got the error. That means integer the zero division error. Yes. So because we cannot divisible a number by zero, right? That is why it is giving error. Integer divisible or modulo by zero. So here we need to mention start from 1. No need of 0. Because a number is not divisible by 0, 0, right? So that's the reason we should start from 1. Otherwise we will get 0 division error. Okay. We cannot find a remainder by dividing it with 0. So now let me execute it. So I am entering here 1. So 1 is not a prime number. We all know that. 1 is a odd number. So now let me execute and give another thing. So f equal to 1. F equal to 1 not required because here we are taking factors initially as 0. After that inside the loop, if the remainder is 0, then we are incrementing the f variable by 1. Okay. So now let me execute and give 2. 2 is a prime number. We all know that 2 is a prime number. The prime numbers will start from 2. And 3 is also, 2 is a prime number because it is having factors 2 and 1. Okay. Let me execute 3. 3 is also a prime number. Right? The program is working fine. So we have completed the prime numbers program. So mostly you should know about uh, uh, how to find the factors and to check whether the particular number is having only 2 factors or not. Because prime number is divisible by only 1 and itself. Okay. So we have completed the program. So here let us extend the program. Let us extend this program and sorry if I want to print prime numbers from 1 to 100. Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell. So now I will tell that program only. Let's do it. Suppose, uh, so program, Python program to print prime numbers given range. Okay. Python program to print prime numbers in given range. Okay. So given range also we have to consider. I told you that range function needs 2 parameters, range of uh, start value and end value. Okay. So here our start value and that particular end value also I am taking from user. start equal to int of input of enter start value for range, end equal to int of input of enter end value for range. Okay, so in this particular range we have to find the prime numbers. Okay, so just I am printing a statement here. Display prime numbers in range of between start and end. Okay, so now let me execute 1 to 100. So I got the error. Yes, yes. We have to convert this as integers because we are concatenating with the string, right? We have to convert them as strings. Initially, start and end will be of integers. I am going to convert them as strings. 100. Okay. Display prime numbers between 1 and 100. This is our task. Now let's start our program. So for every value in range of start comma n, I'm including n value also. That's why I'm giving +1 and +1. Okay. So here we have to check whether that particular value is prime or not. So again, I'm going to write the loop. So first, I'm taking here as I in range of, as previously we did, so value +1. Okay. And initially I'm considering factors as 0. And inside the loop, I have to check if the particular value is use reminder 0 when it is divisible by I. Okay, then we have to increment the factors. Okay, after completing this, so we have to check the condition. If f equal to 2, then we can print that particular number, print value with and equal to space. Okay, so now let me run this program. So I got an error here. Here we have to keep double equal to operator. So enter 1 and 100. See, I got error like integer division. Yes, as previously we got error again. Here we have to keep 1. 100. See here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31. Up to 97 I got. I got all the prime numbers between 1 and 100. Okay. So this is the program for finding the prime numbers in the given range. Okay. Is this program clear for all? So remaining people, are you all clear with this program? I don't get it. Okay, I will explain it again, no problem. So as we discussed that prime number is nothing but a number which is having only two factors, right? So two factors are 1 and itself. So here our task is we want to find the prime numbers in the given range. So for the range function, two parameters are required, start value and end value. Okay. So that's why I take an input as start and end. No need to give these only these variables. You can give variable names anything. Okay. So for understanding purpose only, I have given start and end as variable names for this particular values. Okay. So after reading the input, so just I am printing the range. Okay. Just I am printing the string. So this in this particular range, we are going to display the prime numbers. Now we are going to start our program. So for value in range of for every value in range of start comma n plus 1. So n plus 1 is nothing but uh, we are going to include n value also in the given range. Okay. If we didn't give n plus 1, then it will only consider up to n minus 1 value. Okay. So that is the reason we are giving n plus 1. So after that, initially I am taking f value as 0. Okay. So why I am taking inside the for loop means for every value I have to make this f equal to 0. Okay. So that is the reason I have given inside the first for loop. This is a nested for loop program because it is having two for loops. One for loop inside another for loop we are having. Okay. So inside this, I am going to start a for loop for finding the factors, number of factors. Okay, for I in range of 1 to value plus 1, starting from 1 to value plus 1. With that all particular numbers, I'm going to find the whether the remainder is getting 0 or not. If the remainder is getting 0, I'm going to increment this f variable by 1. Okay, so after completing all this, by coming by breaking the indentation of inner for loop, I'm writing the condition that if the factors are equal to 2, then I'm going to print the particular value. Okay. So this is our program. Is it clear now? Okay. So now let's start discussing Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series. Okay. Fibonacci series is nothing but, suppose let us say initially we are having 0 and 1. So next value will be 0 plus 1. Okay. The next number will be uh, sum of two preceding numbers. Okay, that is our Fibonacci series. Okay, 0 plus 1 is 1. So next number will be sum of two preceding numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, and 3 plus 2 is 5, like that, up to so on. So this is the Fibonacci series. So we are going to find this. So we are going to print this Fibonacci series. Suppose we are going to take a n variable here to how many numbers to print in the Fibonacci series. We are taking that particular number from user. Int of input of enter n value. How many numbers, or else give the string which you are clear with. So number of values to be displayed in Fibonacci. Okay. So this is our target. Okay. Number of values to be displayed in Fibonacci series. So for that particular value, we are taking n from user. Okay. So now let's start doing Fibonacci series. So here we are going to start the for loop for I in range of n. Okay. So initially I am taking n1 and n2 values as 0 and 1. Okay. So first let me print here n1, and after printing n1 here uh, we will get n2 nth nth value as n2, n1 plus n2. Okay, and print nth value. See up to here what we are going to get. Let's see. So 0 and 1, 0 and 1 we are getting. Okay. So we are getting all 0 and 1. This is not our output. We should get like this: 0, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, and 1 plus 1, 2. Like that we should get. So for that we are going to, so somebody is telling that n2 equal to nth. Yes, we have to update n2 value. And we also should update n1 equal to n2, right? So now we got here 0 plus 1, 1, and 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3. Again we got 2 here. Yes, let's see that by printing it above. Yes, we got it now. Okay. So this is how we can print Fibonacci series. Hope now you all understood. So this is simple only, no problem. So firstly, we are going to get here. So just I am taking n value from user. How many number of numbers should be displayed in Fibonacci series? Okay. And initially in a static way, I have taken n1 and n2 as 0 and 1. Okay. So after that, uh, I want to print the number starting from n1. That's why I directly printed n1. So this for loop is for printing n number of values in the Fibonacci series. In the for loop, so we should get nth value. Suppose initially we are having n1 and n2 only two numbers we are having. So for that nth value is n1 plus n2, right? So that's why we are going to sum that. Okay, after let's print nth value. Again, here we have to update these two. This is very important. Otherwise, you won't get the series. N1 we should replace with N2 and N2 should be replaced with nth value. So output is correct. Correct only, right? Yeah, yes, yes. I think 0, 0, yes, yes, right. Yeah, yes, correct. So here we have to print. Here we have to print N1 and N2. Okay. Now it is correct. Right. So print at the end of the nth value. So now like this, can you? Yes, yes. I will. So as we see, as we discussed that we should have only 5 values in the series, but we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 values we are getting. So this should be negotiated by giving here n minus 2, I think. Yes, now it is correct. So if you give here uh, 10, 10 as 12, you will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, 10 values we got. Correct. This is the correct program. So because we given here n minus 2, we already printed here two numbers. That's why we decremented by n value by minus 2 in the range. Yes, print statements 2 on 9. 2 on 9. You can also give in a single line, no problem. So like this also you get. If you want slash n between them, you can do slash n, backslash. Yeah, but n means n minus 1 in the range. Yes, yes. Because we are already printing the first two values in a static way. We are taking, so you can print 4 values. Yes, 4 values also we can print. 0, 1, and 2. This n value is for number of values to be printed in the series. Okay. So that's the reason we are using here n value. So we are displaying Fibonacci series in the output, right? In that particular series, how many values to be existing. So that is the reason we are taking n value. So here we are directly printing n1 and n2. So that's the reason I have decremented here n minus 2 here. Okay, that's the reason we have decremented n minus 2. So right, this is the Fibonacci series. So now let's discuss another program. So another program, what do you need? I think you all did this. Yeah, range automatically takes one value, so you can give 4. It prints only 3 values. Yes, yes, that's one. That's correct. Range will considers n minus 1 value up to, if you give n, it will considers only up to n minus 1 value. Okay. So now let's start another program. I hope you all done this printing even and odd numbers. Like I am not explaining that program. So now I am going to explain uh, perfect numbers. So anybody done perfect numbers program? Okay. So can anyone post the definition of perfect number? What is perfect number? What is perfect number? So I'm not asking about what are the perfect numbers. So what is meant by perfect number? Yeah, when we add, when we sum the factors of the of any particular number, then that sum must be equal to given number. So that is the perfect number. So first, for a given number, we will find all the factors. After finding all the factors, we will perform sum. Okay. When that sum is equal to the given number, then it is a perfect number. Okay. So this is very easy. No problem. This program is simple. Now let's start. Let's do a program to check whether the given number is perfect or not. Python program to check given number is perfect or not. That means whenever we enter the number, we should get true or false. If that number is perfect number, we should get true. Otherwise, we should get false. Okay. Let's start. N equal to, I am taking n for reading the number from user, taking input from user. Enter a number to check whether it is perfect or not. Okay. So after reading the number, so we are going to perform a loop for I in range of, as previously we done for prime number. We are going to do that. And so uh, here we have to find the factors. So here in the factors we shouldn't include that n value. Okay, suppose let us say 6 is a perfect number. That factors of 6 are 1, 2, and 3 only. Okay, only 3. So we shouldn't include 6 in the sum. Okay, so that's why I'm giving here n. If n modulus I double equal to 0, we have to take here sum. Initially I'm taking sum as 0. So after that I'm going to perform s plus equal to I. Otherwise we can continue the loop. So now by exiting from the for loop, we need to write the condition. if s double equal to capital N. Initially the number is stored in N, right? So that's why we are taking capital N. So if s double equal to N, we can print true. Otherwise can print false. False. Okay. So this is the program. So while loop ananda akkada. So while loop there is not while loop. Yeah, by using while loop also you can do no problem. While loop తో కూడా చేయొచ్చు. మీరు try చేయండి. So while loop actually here while loop is given for finding even and odd numbers. Yes, I only muted my mic because some disturbance is getting from outside. That's why only I muted my. No problem. So now let me execute this. Uh, Suppose we said that 6 is a perfect number, right? 6 is a perfect number. True. Okay, we are getting true because sum of factors of that particular number is equal to 6. So that's why 6 is a perfect number. So this is the task. This is the program. So are you all clear with this program? Okay. So based on this, I'm giving you a task as we done for previously prime numbers. I'm going to give you a task. Python program to get all perfect numbers in the given range. Okay. So as we previously done for prime numbers, you want to complete this task. How to do this task and let me know. Okay. Python program to get all perfect numbers in the given range. So now the time is 5:55. So I'm giving you 5 minutes and let me know how many of you completed. So all of you complete this task. Python program to get all perfect numbers in the given range. So do you understand what you want to do? How to complete this? Not only below 100. So whatever the range also we have to enter from user. Okay. So as I previously done for prime numbers, so you should do like that. Suppose if I give start value as 1 and stop value as 1000, in between 1 and 1000 I should get all the prime numbers. Okay, some of you have already completed. Now let me explain. Uh, we want to print perfect numbers in the given range, right? For every value in range of. So I'm taking directly input function inside the range function. Okay, for to reduce the number of lines of code, I am doing this and the start value. Okay, after the start value, you have to take n value, n value for range. So inside the loop, so we have to find the factors, right? And we have to take the sum inside the loop for every I in range of 1 to 1 to value plus 1. As previously we done this same. We can do like this. Okay. After this, we have to check the modulus condition. So value modulus I. If this is if the remainder is 0, then we can sum. Okay. S plus we can increment the sum by I. Okay. So up to here we have completed performing the sum. So now by exiting from this inner for loop, we have to check the condition if s double equal to value or not. Then if this is equal, we can print that particular number, value, and s equal to and equal to space. So for printing in the same line, I'm giving and equal to space. Start value as 1 and stop value as 1000. So only, okay. So this is wrong. Actually, somewhere we have set the condition. It's double equal to value only, right? Somewhere we missed the condition. Condition within the loop. Okay. I'm saying that should be within the loop. So why I'm getting like this iterations then? 3 times I'm getting 1, 6, 24. So this I shouldn't get. 1 is also not a perfect number. Yes, yes. We shouldn't include. Right, correct. For perfect number, we don't need to include value plus 1 here. And we are getting, just a second. Yes, this is correct program. 6, 28 and 496. So previously, here I told you already that we cannot include uh, that particular value as a factor. Okay, so that's the reason we shouldn't got before. So this is the program. So do you all clear with this program? Want to explain? Okay. So actually, our task is to get perfect numbers in the given range. Suppose I am taking a range of numbers 1 to 1000 here as input. So in that particular range, I want only perfect numbers. We know the condition that perfect number is a number if the sum of the factors of perfect number equal to the given number, then we call that particular number as a perfect number. So that's the reason we are starting for loop by taking input function inside the range function directly. We are taking to reduce the number of lines of code. I have written like this. Okay, no problem. So int of input of integer values we require. That's why int of input we are taking, and end value also input integer value. That's why int of input of n. Okay. After that, so we need a sum. We need to find the sum, right? Initially, I'm taking s variable as 0. Okay. After that, we have to check the factors and perform sum. Okay. For I in range of 1 comma value, 1 comma value, and for every value we are finding the modulus. So if the modulus, when we perform modulus, we got the remainder as 0, then we are going to sum that particular value to the I. Sum, we are going to increment the s by I. So we have, after completing the loop, we are checking the condition that if that particular s is equal to, the sum is equal to the original value or not. If the both are equal, then we are printing that particular value. Okay, that's about program. Now is it clear? So you have to remember that, have to main understand the concept. So here we should understand perfect number is a number when the sum of factors of that particular number is equal to the given number or not. Sum of factors of the number. You have to find sum of factors of the number. Whatever the input number you got, you have to find the factors first. For the factors, you have to perform the sum. Okay. So this is about your SVA task program. So we are going to do now some more programs. Okay, some more programs like this only. So now, is this program completed, all of you? There are 24 on my go. Yes, 24. I think it is not a perfect number. So let's first find the factors of 24 and sum them. So between 1 and 1000, yeah, you have written the condition with SW equal to value in the for loop. You should write it outside of the inner for loop. You must write outside of the inner for loop. Here you written like if SW equal to value in the inner for loop. Okay, you should write it outside of the for loop. Okay. Is it clear now? Hello. Everybody completed this program? Okay. So now we are going to do some more programs like this only. Uh, Yesterday you all done one program, right? That is printing a mathematical table. Suppose we are going to print a table. By using for loops, you printed a table. Suppose 2 into 1 equal to 2, 2 into 2 equal to 4. Now all printed the structure of the table, right? You remember that program? Okay. So by the extension of that only, we are going to do another program. So Python program. So the next task is Python program to print n mathematical tables. Suppose if the n value is 2, you have to print one table and two tables. If the n value is 3, you have to print one table, two table and three tables. Okay. So between every table, you must get a line gap. So after completion of one table, you should get a one line gap, and continuation you should get second table. Okay. You have to complete this task. Python program to print n mathematical tables. Suppose if the n value is 2, you have to print one table, and after that you should get one line gap. In the next line, you should get two tables. Okay. If the n value is 3, you should get one table, after that one line gap, two table, after that one line gap, three tables. Okay. So you have to print Python program to print n mathematical tables. So all of you try to do this task. Yesterday you already printed a single table. Is now the task clear for all? What you want to do? Everybody clear? What you want to do? Okay. Try to complete that and let me know. So we will discuss another program after. Without using format also you can do. No need of format actually. Yes, one of your friend completed. That's the car program. Now let me explain you. To print n mathematical tables, so I'm going to take n value. So how many number of tables to print? So that's why I'm taking input function. Number of tables to print. Okay. So uh, after that, I'm going to start the loop for I in range of. So this loop is we here we have to write two loops. One loop is for how many number of tables to print. Okay. So starting from 1 to n plus 1. Okay. I also need nth table. 1 to nth table. That's why I'm doing writing range as 1 to n plus 1. So after that, inside loop is for printing 11 lines. So table consists of 10 lines, right? So for that 10 lines, we are going to write the loop for j in range of 1 to 11 here required, because we will get the table, like suppose if the n value, suppose if the table we are going to print is 2, 2 into 1 equal to 2, 2 into 2 equal to 3. Like that, we need 1 to 10 numbers in the table. That's why we are taking range as for j in range of 1 comma 11. So here we have to print the format. How the table looks? First, the table looks like I comma in after I we will get star, after star we will get j, after j we will get equal to, at the last mathematical operation I into j. So this is the task. Suppose now let me run this. Suppose I want three tables. So I got three tables, but I told that after each table I should get a line gap. So with this for loop we completed printing the table. So outside of this loop, print, call the print function. Okay, print function with slash n, backslash n. So we'll get new line by using backslash n. So you can observe now. After one table, I got slash n. Two table slash n. Okay, this is the program. I hope now it is clear for all. This is the program for printing multiple tables. So is it clear for all? Everybody completed this program. Shall we move on to the next program? So now all of you try to print this star pattern. So this is the star pattern you have to print in the program. So if you execute the program, I should get this pattern. Okay. In the first row, I should get 1 star, 2 stars, followed by 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So all of you try to complete this program. Somebody is disturbing the screen. I given you the task to complete. You have to complete this. Uh, you have to print the star pattern in the program by writing Python program. Okay. All of you try to do this. Okay, one of you got. So I think it is not correct answer. Blue lines. So you have done wrong, I think. Okay, I am explaining all of you see here. Suppose here I am taking n value. How many rows to print the stars? Okay, print int of input of. So how many rows I should get this pattern? So I am taking that from user. So enter number of rows to get pattern. Okay, so that I am taking. So for that I am starting the loop for I in range of how many number of rows starting from 1 to n. So for j in range of 1 to I plus 1. So in the each row I should get star, right? Star and equal to space. See here I am getting all the stars in the same row. So for that purpose I am going to print slash n, or else just you can call the print function, because in print function n parameters by default it will be by default n will be backslashing. See, I got here only 4 rows, but I given 5 rows. I want 5 rows. Yes, someone disturbing the screen. So he is that I cannot understand. Okay. Here we should give n plus 1. So this is the program. So n number of rows you will get stars like this. Suppose if you want to print this pattern in reverse order, 5 stars, 4, then 3, 2, like that also you can do. So by interchanging the for loops. Is this program clear for all? Okay, I will explain. So initially I have taken n value from user to get n how many number of rows to print this particular pattern. Okay, so I given here 5. So the first the for loop will start from for I in range of 1 to 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 means it will consider as 5. 1 to 5 values it up to it considers. So here for j in range of 1 to I plus 1. I plus 1 means initially I value is 1. I plus 1 means 1 plus 1 2. 1 to 2. That means so in the first iteration I will get 1 star. In the second iteration I value will be 2. Okay. So j value will be 1, 1 to I plus 1, 2 plus 1, 1 and 2. So I will get 2 stars. Okay. The third iteration, I value will be 3. So I will get 3 stars. The fourth iteration, I value will be 4. So that I will get 4 stars. The fifth iteration, I value will be 5. So that I will get 5 stars. Now is it clear? So for after printing every row, I am calling this print function because whenever we call this print function, it will comes to the new line. Okay. So that's the reason we are calling the print function. And we will have a n parameter in print function. By default it will be backslash. Okay. So now you try to print this pattern in reverse order. Reverse order means I should get first 5 stars, 4, 3, 2, 1 like that. Okay, I should get like that. Just you have to interchange here range function. Yes, somebody have given the program that is that. Is that correct? Um, yes, correct. That's correct. Just I'm copying this program and I'm going to change this. See how I'm going to change. So initially here we have to reverse the range. So I should get n here because I value initially it should be 5. Okay, if I give n value as 5 and I also should be 5. N2, N2, N2 1, N2 1. Okay, and I should get here minus 1. Decrement should happen. So range function will take three parameters: start value, step value, and start value, end value, and step value. By default, step value will be plus 1. I'm changing it to minus 1 here because here we need to decrement the range. After that, for j in range of I to 0. Okay, here also we are reversing the range. Now let me execute. So I'm not printing any value. So not 0 here, 1 I think. Yes, here also we should give minus 1. Okay, this is the program. Yes, j range we should decrement. Correct. So this is about printing star patterns. So hope you all clear with this till now. Have you understood this program, everyone? So somebody is disturbing the screen. I don't know why they are doing like this. So because others will get affected further. Okay, some of your friends posted a code. Get star pattern in Y format. Okay, so you can run that. Uh, so this is about today's class. Today only we discussed all the programs. So for the uh, from the next class onwards, we will start the topics under the new topics. So I hope you all know GitHub link also. We are posting all the files in this particular link. So let me upload today file also. Upload files, choose files, and today 26. Okay. Let me choose. Yes, today file also uploaded. I'm sharing this link in the chat box. All of you can copy and download this files. Okay. So you can access all these notebook files from this link, Jupyter Notebook link. So 22 is also added. You can see here. 22 is also added. Yeah. Okay. So that's it about today's class. We have completed the programs discussing. From the next class onwards, we will discuss new concepts. So if you are having any doubts still now, not only today's class, in previous classes also you can ask. So it's only 6:30. We are having half an hour time for the doubts. No problem. you're having any doubts till now, you can ask. Okay, if you're not having any doubts, you can leave the meeting. Monday, right? Host, some person host is there. Next class will be on Monday only, right? Monday 5 p.m. Yes, by pattern you can work out, no problem. You can try it out. So if you are not getting, we will discuss it in the next class. So anything pattern you can do it now because you have to understand whatever the inner for loops are doing. Okay, so any pattern you can try. Not only try, you can try X pattern and what we call triangle patterns also you can try. So triangle, equilateral triangle like that. Three sides equal, only we can print. So patterns like this you can try, no problem. Okay, are you all clear with the class concepts? You can leave the meeting, no problem. If you're clear, if you're not having any doubts, you can leave. Okay, syllabus we will share you with on Monday. We will update within the same link. Here itself we will update in this website. Like here in this link. This link is given to you, right? Here we will update it.
ప్లీజ్ చేంజ్ యువర్ నేమ్స్ అండి. చాలా మంది కూడా మీ నేమ్స్ చేంజ్ చేసుకోలేదు. కొత్తగా జాయిన్ అయిన వాళ్ళందరికీ మనకి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ తో పాటు టెలిగ్రామ్ లింక్ కూడా పంపించాను, దాంట్లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. మస్ట్ షుడ్ గా అందరూ ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ కూడా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ ని ఫిల్ చేయాలండి. నేను ఫస్ట్ నుంచి కూడా చెప్తున్నాను, ఎందుకంటే మీ అటెండెన్స్ దాన్ని బట్టి బేస్ చేసి ఉంటుంది. ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ సెక్షన్ లో ఎవరైతే క్వాలిఫై అయ్యారు, ఎగ్జామ్ కి ఎవరైతే క్వాలిఫై అయ్యారు అన్నది దాన్ని బట్టి బేస్ చేసి మిమ్మల్ని ఎగ్జామ్ కి అటెండ్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ కూడా క్లాస్ అటెండ్ అయిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ కూడా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ ఫిల్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే అండి. ఎవరైనా న్యూ జాయినింగ్స్ ఎవరైనా ఉంటే మాత్రం టెలిగ్రామ్ లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. మీకు డైలీ రికార్డ్ క్లాసెస్ కానీ సార్ చెప్పే క్లాసెస్ లింక్స్ కానీ దాంట్లో మనకి సెండ్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. సో టెలిగ్రామ్ గ్రూప్ జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. అండ్ డౌట్ సెక్షన్ అని ఉంటే మీరు చాట్ బాక్స్ లో చాట్ చేయండి, సార్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారు. 10 minutes more. Any doubts? Please test చేయండి. డౌట్స్ ఏం లేకపోతే లీవ్ చేద్దాం, మీటింగ్ లీవ్ చేద్దాం. డౌట్స్ ఏమంటే ఒకసారి రేజ్ చేయండి.